7 days, 183. Methamphetamine has got a damn good hold of me. My tweaker friends have got me to the point of no return. I just took the lighter to the bowl and watched it burn. This life.
Are we ready? Hey everyone. My name is Devin. My sobriety date is August 15th, 2022. I'm sorry, 2021. I just made a year this year. So I guess we start from the beginning. So my very first memories of being a child is my grandfather molesting me. Probably that is like my first memories of anything, probably from age 2 to 4 years old until he died finally. After that, my childhood was pretty good. You know, we went a lot of places. You know, my mom was a good mom. Then school started, and in school, I had a very hard time making friends. I had buck teeth. You know, I was really skinny. A lot of people picked on me. So that went on from elementary all the way to the middle of middle school. And then I got old enough to know that my mom was going to something called pain management. And let's say I was probably 13 or 14 at this point, and I found out my mom was on Xanax. She was going to pain management just for the Xanax. Well, in our cabinets at home, we just had bottles and bottles and bottles of what I know now are oxys. And this is before they were OPs. These were the OCs. And they were 80s. She had that, and we had somas, but she was just going for the Xanax. So I brought some pills to school one day, not even knowing really what they are. Showed them to some people that were older than me, and they were like, "Bro, you know, do you know what this is?" And I'm like, "No, not really." Well, I started giving them away because people liked me. All of a sudden, I had friends. Girls started to like me. Older guys were hanging out with me, and I still, you know, this was 12, 13, 14. I never did any drugs yet. My mom had me believing that, you know, weed would kill me from a very young age. She told me drugs were bad, and you know, the dare thing was going on back when I was growing up, and I believed it. I believed that I was scared of drugs. Hurricane Katrina came in 2015, and I smoked weed for the very first time. I was 15 years. 2005. I was 15 years old. Smoked weed for the very first time. We were living in Florida, but I had family in Louisiana. So when that happened, we went and helped some family in Louisiana because they got tore up from the hurricane, and my mom brought the pills with her, and I started smoking weed. Still just smoking weed, 15 years old. We winded up moving back to Louisiana, where I'm from, because I'm from New Iberia. And I was 15, 16. Things started going really bad, really fast. I knew my mom was addicted to Xanax, and then I found out she was a gambler. So man, I got old enough to know, okay, well, we don't have any money. We're always poor. People are always paying our bills. Why are we always out of money? My mom was a gambler. She had me believing that my dad wasn't sending any child support my whole life. She made me believe that. Well, moving on to probably, I'm about 16 now. My sister moves in with us, and my sister's selling ecstasy. Well, one night she was at the house, and man, everybody's just, for what I call it, the uglies, you know, everybody's just rolling, and it's a bunch of people all the time. So finally I asked my sister, I'm like, dude, I want one of these pills. It was a pink thumbs up pill, looked like that. And she gave it to me. And they were smack tabs, you know, they were real MDMA X pills, dude. And when she gave me that pill, I knew that's exactly how I wanted to feel all the time. Instantly, I mean, 10 minutes after I took it, I started throwing up. and then boom, it was on. So I did ecstasy that night, and she gave me a line of meth that night too. All in the same. I did meth and ecstasy for the all in one night at the same time. The next morning, I was like, man, I hadn't even been to sleep. I gotta go to fucking school. First time I had stayed up all night. I went to school, told my friends about the pill that I took. They were like, man, you gotta bring them. You gotta get us something to school. So, went from having no friends to, I mean, literally people picking on me, making nicknames about my teeth, to people wanting to sleep over at my house all the time, girls wanting to hang out all the time. And I'm just like, man, like this, I finally found the thing that makes me popular. I found the thing that makes me feel wanted. So that went on for a while, and then back to the oxys. I broke my leg skateboarding at this point, still 16. I broke my leg skateboarding, and the doctor, they cast me up. The doctor sent me home with that it was hydrocodone 10s, the blue Watsons back then, and still I had never took an opiate. The only thing I was doing was and I hated the meth. I didn't like it. It made me too paranoid, but I loved the ecstasy. When the doctor gave me them hydrocodone pills, it made me feel better than the ecstasy did. And I knew that was the drug I wanted to take every single day. Well, eventually the doctor stopped giving me the tabs. My leg was healed up, and somebody had told me, they were like, man, them oxys that you got, they make you feel just like the tabs. Well, I was trading one Oxycontin 80 for 110 milligram hydrocodone back then, because I didn't know. I was trading 180 for 110 milligram hydrocodone to people at school. I would trade 20 80s for 20 tabs. I literally did not know what I had. Well, let's see, 16, 17. I got kicked out of school. I got caught selling oxys at school. I had a choice to go to a place called LTI for a year, or I could go to a place called the Youth Challenge Program, which is it's like a military boot camp 6-month program that they offer kids down here. If you're in trouble, you can go there. So, I mean, obviously 6 months in a jail, or a year in a jail, or 6 months in a boot camp. I obviously picked the 6-month boot camp. I went there, and dude, the first night there, I cried for my mom. I was a fucking mama's boy. I'd never been away from my mom. Never. So that 6 months there was pretty traumatic. I got beat on so the guys that were watching us were, their rehabilitation from the war in Iraq, because that's when around it was 2006, when the 2006, 7, 8, yeah, it was around 2006 when 9/11 happened. I guess it was around that time, that year, because it was 06. The cadres that was their rehabilitation to watch us. Y'all, they were fucking us up in there. I didn't get raped, but they were raping some of us in there. They were like drowning us in puddles of water. It was up in Shreveport, so it was snow, and they would leave us butt naked outside for hours. Like, it was really, really traumatic. I think that was besides being molested, that was the first trauma I ever had. But the place hardened me up. It hardened me up into a 15, 16-year-old man. Like, I felt like I was a grown man when I left there because of what I had went through, and I didn't want my mom anymore. Got back home after that 6 months, started hanging out with my friends again. Well, my mom started drug testing me when I'd get back from my friend's house, and I would fail the drug test. She would call my friend's mom. And so now nobody wanted to hang out with me because my mom was a fucking rat. So I moved with my dad. And when I got out of there, I was still doing the same thing, taking ecstasy, taking my pills. I moved with my dad in Texas, in Fort Worth, Texas. And I still hadn't been dope sick yet. I never knew what dope sick was because we had so much medicine. Moved to my dad's without any medicine. Dude, it was bad. I had told my dad what was going on. And he was like, well, dude, you can't fucking you can't take pills here. Can't take pills here. So I detoxed at 16 years old, bro. Just at home with Finnegan, which is promethazine pills and Pedialyte and water, and like they were trying to give me broth and soup for like a week. Shook back from that. So now I'm probably about 17, still living with them. My brother is tied in with the Aryan Brotherhood, and he's a meth cook. I had no idea that that's what my stepbrother did. Moved into his apartment with him, and so he's a meth cook. He has, I mean, when I'm not shitting y'all, pounds of meth. And it's still, I fucking hate meth. I still hate meth to this point because it made me too paranoid. Lived out there for a while. The craziness there scared the fuck out of me. They were doing shit to people that owed them money that scared the fuck out of me. Like, I seen one guy get his toenail ripped off with a pair of needle nose pliers. Shit like that they were doing to these people, and I just couldn't fuck with that. So I moved back with my mom. 17, probably 18 now. My mom moves to a town called Bogalusa. Tommy might know where that is. I'm sure y'all have never even heard of that place. It's a population town of 11,000 people. Very, very small hick town. You know, still had bad teeth, but luckily there nobody even had teeth, so I was good. At least I still had mine. Like, it was a town like that. So moved there. I'm about 18 now, and the drug out there is Roxy's and Oxys, and still my mom's wanted pain management. So, and I'm back on the Oxys. From 18, 19, 20, did that, you know, sold Oxys, did Oxys. That's all I did was opioids. Still never did no hard drugs yet, still in the pharmaceuticals. Well, 18 years old, 19, I met this girl, and she was shot dope. And of course, you know, I eventually I was fucked around with her for about a month or two, and I'm like, man, I will never fucking stick a needle in my body. I will never fucking do that shit. You're a fucking junkie. I snort pills. I'm better than you. I will never do that. Well, 2-3 months, boom, I'm getting in there to hit me with that needle, and of course, fucking loved it. Got pretty bad off. They started turning the OCs into OPs, so you couldn't shoot them anymore. So we're fucking cooking them with Coca-Cola in the microwave ovens and doing everything, doing them with Dremel tools, trying to shoot them, and we can't. So my mom, I'm sending my mom to different pain management doctors now because she has stopped going, but I'm sending her back. You know, she was getting her Xanax from these doctors in Mississippi now, but we were getting Roxy's. That went down fast. My mom couldn't pass the fucking drug tests because she wouldn't take the fucking opioids. All she would take is the fucking Xanax. So about 19, 20 now, my mom started getting beat by this guy. We moved to Broussard. Tommy probably knows what that is. We moved to Broussard, and 19, 20, still same thing, sending my mom to doctors to get pills and shit like that. It's not going so good. So finally, I turned 20. I found a doctor that could write me pills. He does. My mom's still gambling. She's living with me. And this is where shit goes bad, guys. So 21, I accidentally killed my mom. So she was sitting in a car. She was sitting in the driveway. My car was parked. I had left for work. I pulled back up into the garage. You know, in the cars like this, she's got her feet on the bumper of the car. When I pulled back up, I had went back home because I was afraid she was going to steal my pills. And she's all fucked up on Xanax, and I can't understand what she's saying. I'm trying to talk to her through the window. She pissed me off. I put the car, what I thought was in reverse. I didn't look, and I looked behind me. I slammed on the gas. The car was in drive, and it hit her. She was okay. She was like, you know, baby, call the ambulance. I don't feel good. So we called the ambulance. I get to the hospital. She was dead. That right there, you know, I got goosebumps because it's the first time I tell this story like this. That right there, when I got to the hospital, bro, like, because a little bitty bump, she wasn't bleeding, wasn't nothing. I pull up to the hospital. I found out she died. My sister gets there. He's a fucking junkie. He's a fucking junkie. He was fucked up. Arrest him. Blah, 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 blah. So, you know, obviously they fucking arrest me. And at the same hospital my mom is dead in is the same hospital Lafayette Sheriff's Department takes you to do all your tests, blood tests, urine tests, or whatever. So I'm in the fucking hospital and just found out I accidentally killed my mom. They want me to do blood tests, urine tests, and I'm open to anything because I was not fucked up. I did get fucked up the night before, but I went to sleep that night, got up for work. I didn't smoke a joint. I didn't snort a pill. I didn't do anything. I always waited to do my dope till I got to work. Fuck, I have to wake up a little bit first. That was a really, really, really bad time. So I failed the drug test, blood test, obviously, but thank God that my brother, Tyson, well, he's my stepbrother, he was married to the chief of police in Lafayette. And he came in there, he asked me what happened. I told him, and it was a fucking accident. He believed me. The only person that believed me was Mr. Doug. And they let me go from the hospital, but under conditions that I had to stay at my dad and him's house because of what happened. They had to do an investigation. Y'all, when I'm telling you, my sister was sleeping with half the police force. So they were showing up to my dad's house all the time, searching their house for drugs, fucking just doing all kind of illegal shit. That they're not supposed to be doing. And let's edit this before we post this, by the way, because I'm saying, shit like that. So they're doing all kind of illegal shit. My dad goes up to the police station with recordings, video surveillance, everything, shows them, this is what the fuck your police are doing off duty. They're harassing my son. They said, okay, well, here's the deal. You don't pursue this, we'll forget this accident ever even happened. So that's how that went down. My dad didn't pursue them harassing me. They ripped up the paperwork. It's like the accident never happened, y'all. But it happened in here. When that happened, I fucking went off. I went off the grid for a while. And when I mean off the grid, I went off the fucking grid to Mississippi. I had a camper at the time. And I fucking went off the grid, y'all. In that day, I went from just doing the oxy, smoking a little weed, to smoking crack, shooting heroin, doing oxys. The only thing I wasn't doing was meth. And I did that from 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's how I lived, off the fucking grid, working for farmers and shooting fucking heroin and smoking crack. One of my favorite things to do when I wake up in the morning was I would fucking tie off, hit a piece of crack, shoot my heroin, wait for the heroin to hit me, and I blow the crack smoke out. That was my wake up every single morning. Like, that's how I woke up every day for years. And that was my little combination. That's what I like to do. 21 to 22 to 23, 25, 26, that's 2016. All my work was out, y'all. I had no fucking way to get heroin anymore, no way to get crack. So I started doing what everybody else does. I started drugging and thugging for real. I was fucking robbing fucking dope dealers. I didn't have any money, so I was robbing dope dealers, robbing people, robbing my friends. I never, ever, ever I thought I never did anything to my family because I had left. I didn't put my family to anything, so I didn't do anything to my family, is what in my brain. And shit. And I went to treatment for the first time, and I went to the psych ward for the first time in 2016. I went, and they fucking detoxed me on tramadol, y'all. They were giving me, and I had this before heroin was fentanyl. I had a 2 or 3 grand, no less than an 8-ball habit a day, just me. At least a ball a day. And they detoxed me on 2 tramadol every 6 hours. And I had a 2 gram to 8 ball habit a day for 4 years. And this was fucking religiously because I was getting quarters for 200 back then. I knew a Cuban guy. I was getting zones for really, really cheap. Still never done meth, like talking about. Went to detox for the first time. I went to treatment in Lafayette, did a 20-day program, got out, did the IOP. And I got reunited with my dad in them. They came to family day, at a little treatment center they do, the family intervention thing. My dad and them came. I was probably clean about 3 months. My dad offered me a job in the oil field. And I thought it was the best thing ever. They let me move in with them. And I was 20. It was 2016, so I was 26. They let me move in with them. Everything was good. 2 days on the job. I swore I would never do heroin again. I would never do heroin or smoke crack again. But I was never addicted to meth. Never even liked it. So dude was like, we're in a fucking tank, a metal fucking tank. Just as a tank. We're down in there. Dude fucking, he's like, bro, the guy I'm helping, I'm a welder helper. He's like, man, you want a bump? And I'm like, what is that? He's like, it's meth. I'm like, man, it's gonna make me fucking paranoid, bro. No, he's like, no, this ain't no trash, bro. This is real dope. This is good dope. I'm like, fuck it. I did a line and I didn't get fucking paranoid. I didn't get paranoid. I kind of had got that euphoric feeling that I had got off the heroin. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool, bro. So I started doing that, started bumping it. And I'm 26 now. So I started bumping it from 26, 27, 28, 29, working in the oil field. I have my little girl at this point. I had my daughter. I'm with her mom. And back up a little bit. I met her mom. So I got with her mom a week after my mom died. After that accident, I got with my daughter's mom. She like rescued me, guys. Like I had nobody. She rescued me. So I thought I was in love with this woman. All right. We had a child together and everything. So now we're all living in New Iberia. We got a house. We're doing good. I'm 26. Well, y'all all know how the story goes. You bump meth like everything else. You start bumping it. Then you start smoking it. Then you're eating it. For me, then I'm putting it in my ass, boofing it. And then I'm shooting it. And y'all, when I started shooting dope, I shot my whole fucking life away. What heroin did not take from me, fucking meth took it from me. I gave it away. I gave my job away. I gave my life away. I gave my daughter away. I gave her mama away. I gave every fucking thing away. I gave my fucking soul away for that shit, y'all. It took me, for me, what med did for me was it took me out of the reality I was in, made everything, it didn't numb me, it just made everything, I had my own little world going on up here, guys. Everything that I had going on, it didn't exist. I had my own world going on up here when I was on meth, and I liked it. I did not have to deal with my reality. I did not have to deal with the trauma of my mom. I didn't have to deal with a woman that I figured out when I got on meth that I really wasn't in love with her. She rescued me from my mom. But how am I going to tell her that? We've been together 10 years now, and so we lost our daughter, we lost our house, we didn't lose the camper. I traded the camper to somebody for a pound of meth. And we were living out of our Ford Explorer. And this was 2020 now. It's 2020 now. I'm 30. Y'all, we live like that now. We lost my daughter in court. OCS took her. She went to foster care. Then she went to a family member. And our goal wasn't to get our daughter back, y'all. Our goal was to get her with a family member so we could continue doing our dope thing. And we did that. We got her with a family member, and we did not fucking care. Okay, so I did not fucking care about my daughter. I didn't care about her mom. Didn't care about anything but putting meth in my ass and meth in my arm is all I fucking lived for. And I lived like that for 2 years straight. And y'all, in that 2 years, I started doing drugs at 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 6 years. I had but that 2-year meth run, when I'm telling y'all, I can't even describe what life was like, because being the clarity that I have today in the way I was living then, like I had no idea who that person was and who that life was. And it took for my baby mother to get arrested. Nobody fucked with me. I was too paranoid to even leave the vehicle we lived in. My punk ass hit my baby mother on every single run, every single jack, every single finesse the dope man, everything. And she did it. She did every single thing I told her to do. So when she got locked up, guess what? I figured out nobody fucked with Devin. Nobody gave a fuck about Devin. Nobody would sell Devin drugs. Nobody wanted Devin around, because I was so fucking paranoid that, y'all, when I used to be in hotels, I used to take my cell phone, flip the camera around, tape the cell phone with clear Scotch tape to the peephole of the door, pull the desk in front of the door so I could sit on the desk and watch the peephole through my cell phone. That's how I would sit in hotel rooms, and I would sit in there for hours like that. I wrote letters in Sharpies on cardboard boxes and taped them to the vents, because I thought the feds were in the vents, and I wrote them notes like, to leave me alone, don't watch me tonight, doing shit like that. That's how paranoid I was. I would get stuck. I would stay up for so long. I mean, weeks, guys, weeks, 2 weeks. The longest I stayed it was 3 weeks, but 2 weeks a week, it wasn't nothing. And I would get so fucking paranoid that the other tweakers, I made them so fucking paranoid, like they wanted to kill me sometimes. Like they would tell me, bro, either you leave or I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out, because that's kind of people I was hanging out with. Like I had to go. I would make people that weren't ever paranoid on dope. Because I constantly thought everybody was coming. And the only thing I was paranoid about was the police. The police, the feds. I would watch fucking El Chapo movies, so now I'd be scared of the federales, because I thought they were tracking my Google phone, and it was just a hot fucking mess, y'all. So when she got arrested, I had no other fucking choice but to go to treatment. No fucking other choice. And that was in 2020. I went to treatment 6 times in 2020. I'd go to a 28-day, get out for 2 months, right back in, because I had nowhere else to go. I would live in hotels, and then of course, the links run out in different cities. They would find out how paranoid I was. Either they would steal my vehicle that I finally got back in a month or two, or I'd wind up in jail for some fuck shit somebody else would do, or I would get into psychosis, guys, and I would walk around, and it's like, okay, so one time, this was the last time I went to jail. I was walking around in New Iberia, my hometown. I passed up this house, and I saw black people in the house. And I saw my little girl on a swing in the front yard, and I saw her mom cutting the grass on the ride lawnmower. Okay, now her mom's in prison, and my little girl's in a meet with family. I have no idea where she's at, because I don't know where she lives. So I'll run in the house with a knife, and I run the black people out of the house, and I'll call the cops, told the cops these people are breaking into my house. And I thought these people were breaking into my house, but y'all, it was their fucking house. When the fucking cops got there, I made me a fucking sandwich, and I grabbed me a Mountain Dew, and I sat on the couch waiting for the cops to get there. Cops walked in. I remember when I'm in psychosis, I remember every fucking thing. So I have a hard time people believing, oh, I was fucked up. I remember every psychosis I was ever in and every detail of it. The cops walked in, and they were talking to me like it was my house. Next thing I know, I'm fucking tasing. I'm in fucking handcuffs, and I got a home invasion charge when I wake up the next morning in fucking central lockup in Liberia. And of course, this is 2020. I hit my fucking knees, and I do the, Alcoholics National Anthem. God, if you get me out of this one, I'll never do this again. Y'all, and on the home invasion charge, I went to my fucking 72. The judge granted me a fucking $100,000 signature bond because it was COVID. And I'm like, and the only thing somebody has to do is come sign that paper and I can get out. Y'all, nobody would come sign the fucking paper for me to get out. They didn't have to pay $1. All they had to do was sign a paper to get me out of there. It took a fucking inmate I got cool with to feel sorry for me being in there for his brother, another thug, to come sign me out. Nobody would. I don't know if all of y'all have been to jail, but they got some solid motherfuckers in jail, y'all. There's a lot of respect in jail the times that I've been there, and I've learned all the real motherfuckers are locked up in jail. Like, there's some real motherfuckers in there, and that's what it took. It took for one of them people, dude, I didn't even know. And he was like, look, bro, my brother's gonna come bail you out, but he's gonna drop you off at the fucking psych ward, and I want you to go to fucking treatment. This drug is not for you. He's like, meth is not for you, bro. And it was a dude that I used to know. He used to shake. He used to shake and bake. He's like, Devin, this drug is not for you, dog. Go to fucking treatment. Get your fucking daughter back. Get your life back, and do not come back to New Iberia. That is the only way my brother's gonna come sign you out. And I said, all right, bro. And I had no fucking intentions of going to the fucking psych ward. Y'all know what I'm saying? No fucking intention at all. But when I got in his car, the only thing that I walked to his car in was boxer shorts, because that's what I was in people's house with. Just my fucking boxers, nothing else. Ran in people's house with their family. Their kids are probably still traumatized to this day. And he drove me to the hospital. I went in there and played suicidal, and y'all had been in that hospital so many times playing suicidal. When that bitch played suicidal, they would not keep me. They would not keep me. I told them I was going to blow my brains out, jump in front of a train, fucking whatever. I even played homicidal. They would not keep me. They were like, Mr. Bertrand, you need to fucking go. So I had went to a treatment center called Woodlake, and they had one in town, and I borrowed a phone, and I was like, man, look, I called them, and they had knew me. Been in there 6 times that year. They were like, bro, we have a bed for you. You can come, but this is the last time you can come to this treatment center, because there's a guy that runs it. Like, you know, you memorize his phone number, because that's what he does. That's his step 12, getting people in fucking treatment, you know. He got me in. I went. This was last year. I went, and something different happened, y'all, that go around. My counselor, the same counselor I had 6 times in a row, she's like, Devin, when are you gonna fucking surrender? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, when are you gonna finally surrender to everything? When are you gonna surrender? I didn't know what that meant. You know, and my sick meth sec addict mind, I knew what submission was, you know, from, you know, all the, you know, the sex fucking hotel rooms and sex parties. I knew what submissive meant, but I didn't surrender. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. And she told me, and you know, no family, nobody come and visit me still. And I'm like, I guess I'm gonna surrender now, because like I have literally I have nothing. I have nowhere to fall back on, no nothing. Been in sober living 6 times that year. So I get out, and something different happened, but it wasn't enough. My baby mama got out of prison, and with I had saved up enough money. I bought a motorcycle, wrecked the fucking motorcycle, went to the hospital. I'm still in sober living when I wrecked this motorcycle. This was May of November of 2020 when I got out. I had been 4 months clean. I had bought a Kawasaki Ninja. I wrecked it. I go to the hospital. They give me ketamine and fentanyl. And I had never did ketamine before, y'all. If I would have found ketamine before any other drug, that would have been my fucking drug of choice, because that shit was fucking fire. They gave me the ketamine to reset my arm. Then they gave me fentanyl when I come out of surgery. The sober living house kicked me out of the house during surgery because I didn't tell them I was in recovery, and they gave me pain pills. Y'all, I had 4 surgeries in 3 days on my arm. I thought they were gonna have to amputate my arm. That's how bad the accident was. So when I got out of the hospital, sitting on a bench in Baton Rouge, and nowhere to fucking go, the sober living house brought all my clothes to the fucking hospital. Like, it was fucked up. So I called baby mama that just got out of prison, and I'm like, hey, look, I have nowhere to go. Of course, she was mad at me because I did not dose her the whole time she was in jail. I never put no money on her books. That's how selfish I am. Never helped her the whole time. We were together 10 years before she went through that 18 months. Never dosed her one time. And so sorry guys, my Wi-Fi glitched out on me. But anyway, so yeah, motorcycle accident. Baby mama came pick me up, and I got there, traded my fucking script for tabs for some meth. Soon as I fucking got there, had a needle in my arm. Went on a run from November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. And I went to treatment again. I went to jail on a warrant in August of 2021. No. Yes. Went to jail. And when I got locked up, I was worse off those couple months than I had ever fucking been in my life. Even worse than what I was all telling y'all about in New Iberia when I lost my daughter. Because at this point, my baby mama was out of prison. My little girl was living with her because she got out of prison and moved with her family. Y'all, I was so fucking bad off that, okay, so I thought my baby's mother was fucking our next door neighbor through a receptacle socket in the bathroom. So I went knock on their door and I got him to come to the gas station with me. Went down the side road. I got out of the car, pulled the shotgun out of the trunk, and I put a shotgun in his mouth. And I said, bro, I know you're fucking my girl through the light socket in the bathroom. And if you don't tell me the truth, I'm going to blow your fucking brains out. And I already know the answer. And y'all, it was a shotgun. I had a fucking bullet in the shotgun and I had it in this motherfucker's mouth. And I said, if you don't tell me what I already know, I'm gonna fucking kill you, bro. And he told me yes. Thank God he told me yes to that crazy ass fucking scenario, because if he would have said no, y'all, I would have fucking killed him. And fucking her through the clarity that I have today, fucking her through the receptacle in the fucking bathroom in the other apartment, y'all, that is just fucking insane. That's where I was at. So when I got locked up, I got locked up the next day. He called the cops on me, and the cops came arrest me. It was for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or whatever. Well, he winded up signing an affidavit, and everything got dropped because he knew I was fucking tweaking, and he knew I was a good guy, but I was fucking tweaking. So got out. Baby mama got me out of jail, and we passed in front of the rehab. I said, stop the fucking car. She's like, what? I said, stop the fucking car. She's like, you're not going to treatment again. You're stronger than this drug. You're always running from your problems. Why can't you just get high like me and whatever? And y'all, whenever we got high, we'd each get a quarter ounce. We'd get a half ounce, each get a quarter. My quarter ounce would be gone in about 3 hours. She would still have hers. So that's she got high too, but not like me. Yeah. So, when I do my quarter ounce, I'm robbing her, trying to steal hers and shit like that, So I went to jail. I stopped the car in front of the fucking treatment center. I ran inside and I asked them, I said, please. I said, y'all, please take me back. Take me back one more time. I'm begging y'all, take me back one more time. And they took me back, y'all. And I surrendered to a higher power for the first time in my life. And it wasn't a fucking, oh God, please get me out of this. Like I really, really fucking needed him, because I literally had nothing but the devil on my side. And that's all I had. And I was tired of being a fucking devil's advocate. I was fucking tired of it. I finally had a fucking enough. And I finished that treatment, y'all. And I got out August. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I went to jail for Memorial Day. Went to treatment, got out in July. Was sober living. So, yeah. Here I make a year clean. I made a year clean last month on the 15th, guys. And
the story that I'm telling y'all, that that was just a quick run through, but y'all got the message, man. I'm one of them fucking hopeless varieties that the book talks about, that they didn't write a fucking chapter about because I'm too fucked up. And for somebody like me, to be where I am today, I just went and dropped my little girl off at my dad and him's house for the weekend. I got custody of my daughter last Friday in court. Because her mom is where I was last year, but she refuses to admit it, which that's fine. That's cool. She's gonna get it when she's ready. And I said it at the beginning of the week, I have this resentment against her so bad, you guys. And I don't know why. I talked to my therapist about it. And I think, to be honest with y'all, is because, like, I fell in love with her on some rebound that the accident with my mother happened. And I never really wanted to be in love with her or have a child with her, but I did. And my resentment against her is because now I'm stuck with her for life and I don't fucking want to be. And that's just something with my therapist I have to talk to my therapist about. But if I can get clean, any fucking body can get clean, y'all. Real talk. If I can fucking do this shit, anybody can fucking do it. And I know that for a fact because I almost killed a man because I thought he was fucking my baby mother through a receptacle in the fucking bathroom, y'all. That's pretty fucking gnarly, you know what I'm saying? And to bounce back on some of the funny shit I did, the 2 years ago. So, like, because this is dopey, one of my favorite, and this is fucking sick, one of my favorite things to do was to go in random bathrooms that Waffle House, places that stayed over 24 hours. And okay, I used to carry a backpack full of dildos with suction cups on them. And I would go into these bathrooms and I would stick the dildos on the mirrors, and I had a tripod stand, and I would put my phone or my tablet on porn, and I would sit back on the toilet. I had a pillow, and I would masturbate and shit, wait for strangers to walk in. And whenever they see me, I would be like, okay, you see me, now let me see you, and let's do this, let's fuck, because I was so fucking horny and I thought everybody wanted to fuck. And I told this story in treatment into my counselor. You know what their words were? What would have you have done if a kid walked in? And I was like, oh, fuck. Because I never, ever, ever, it was at bathrooms like where no kids should be at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like leisure time. It was bathrooms like in leisure times, freak stores, just shit like that, where thank God no kids ever walked in. I got my ass beat about 6 or 7 times, like stomped to the floor by chicks, old men that were in the fucking restaurants and shit with them. Like, I literally got stomped out to bloody pulps in the fucking underneath women's bathroom, because it was in the women's bathrooms I was doing this shit. And that was like every night for me when I was on that dope, y'all. Like, I literally was in a fucking trance where I literally thought every single person wanted to fuck. I would go in random hotels where I didn't have money to stay. And if there was a woman night auditor, I would write a note to her, give it to her, and it would be that I'm in the bathroom playing with myself. If you want to come join, come in. And literally nobody ever fucking came. Of course, nobody ever fucking came because I'm a fucking just perverted, fucking sick, fucking meth freak. That nobody would ever fucking want to come. See. I was fucking living like that, bro. And that story, that's just that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg. That was just a every night with the dildo thing and thinking everybody wants to fuck. That was just a fucking. That was every night, every night. I'm banned in my hometown. I'm banned from there's an exit called Center Street exit. There's a Motel 6, a Quality Inn, a Racetrack gas station, a Waffle House. I am literally banned from every single fucking hotel and every store on that exit in Iberia. If I walk in, they either call the cops or they tell me to leave. And for a while, like, you know, I'm thinking, you know, being sober and the clarity that I have today, I don't know how I never got a sex charge, to be honest with y'all. I do not know how I never got a sex charge. Like, literally, because I literally thought everybody wanted to have sex with me. And nobody wanted to touch me with a fucking 10-foot pole. I can promise you. I can promise you. I was probably a $1.05. I had no teeth in my mouth. Every tooth in my head was rotten. You know, and it was just it was a fucked up life that I had, y'all. And you know, the accident with my mom, I can talk about it today, thank God, through therapy. And closure with my mom. I went to the graveyard and I used to go to the graveyard high as fucking sleep on the top of my mom's on my mom's tombstone. I would sleep on top of it. And like me and my mom would talk and have conversations. Like, I know that sounds crazy and I was probably in a psychosis, but I believe we really had conversations. And like, my mom's not mad at me. I thought my mom was mad at me for accidentally taking her life, and she's not. And it's through the conversations that we had, man. You know, my little girl starting to ask questions, you know, how come I only have a grandma from Pappy, which is my dad? You know, my dad's remarried and stuff. And, you know, I just tell her, oh, we got into a car accident. Because she's only 9. That's all she needs to know. She got into a car accident and she had to go to heaven and see Jesus, is what I tell her. I don't go to my hometown anymore for the simple fact because all the just how I lived and I'm the guy that killed his mom in my hometown, you know, oh, that's the guy that killed his mom, like in a grocery store and shit like that. And I just don't like being labeled as that because that's not, you know, that's not what it is. And a lot of, like, my sister doesn't talk to me to this day. This Mother's Day, she sent me a voice message through Messenger. She said, hey, I heard you missed with a fucking needle. Next time you miss, why don't you hit the ground and die like you killed my mama, bitch? Like, that's what I got for Mother's Day this year from my mom. And I would like for us to be able to go to my mom's grave for Mother's Day and, like, you know, be there, go eat lunch, you know, and talk about what happened. Because of where I am today, but she's not there. She's, you know, she's a back page, model. If y'all know what I'm talking about, to be nice about it. That's what she does for a living. But yeah, I think we're about out of time anyway, but, I hope y'all enjoyed the first time I ever heard, man. Oh man, I was dealt some cards. And I love the life that I have today. I really do. I have a fire banging ass job with a company. And how I got the job was completely honest with these people. They did a fucking background check on me. They saw my background and I still got the job. Because of honesty is the only reason I got. But yeah, that's my story. I don't know if we have time for feedback or if y'all even want to give any, but I thank y'all for giving me y'all time listening.
This life of sin has got me in. Well, it's got me back in prison once again. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. Got 20 long years for some dust in a baggie.